Calcutta High Court has cancelled all other backward classes certificates issued in West Bengal after 2010 and scrapped OBC classification of 37 communities. The court has clarified that those who had attained employment on the benefit of the Act and were already in service because of such reservation would be affected by this order. This has led to political war of words once again between the Bharatiya Janata Party and, of course, Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress. West Bengal's Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has stated that she will not accept the order and implement it. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi slammed the INDI Alliance and stated that the Calcutta High Court has stated that a big slap has been given to the INDI Alliance. Before we get into the debate, let's listen into what the Prime Minister said and what Mamata Banerjee also had to say.
INDI जमात का SC, ST, OBC के आरक्षण के खिलाफ उनका जो षड्यंत्र है, आरक्षण विरोधी उनकी जो मानसिकता है, उसका भंडा फूट गया है।
কদিন ধরে প্রধানমন্ত্রী বলে বেড়াচ্ছে না মাইনরিটিসরা তফসিলিদের রিজার্ভেশন কেড়ে নেবে, এটা কখনো হতে পারে? তাহলে সংবিধান ছেড়ে ভেঙে দিতে হয়। তাহলে কি নরেন্দ্র মোদী চাইছেন দেশটাকে বিক্রি করে দিতে, না সংবিধানকে বিক্রি করে দিতে? সংখ্যালঘুরা কখনো তফসিলিদের সংরক্ষিত আসনে হাত দেবে না, আদিবাসীদের হাত দেবে না, এটা দিতে পারে না, দেবে না, দিতে পারে না।
Right, to talk more about this, Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, also joins us on the program. Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah, political analyst, with us on the show as well. Varun Singh, political analyst, joining us on the program as well. Anuva Brata Roy, TMC supporter, will be joining us momentarily. Joyita, what do you make of this? Of course, it's startling to see that the Chief Minister of West Bengal has said that she's not going to, rein in what the High Court had to say. But the fact of the matter is that there was always speculation, there was always, murmurs that a lot of this quota that was reserved for the OBC was being given to the Muslim community. And now, after these petitions were heard by the court, it has taken a decision.
Well, this was always there in the air, and basically you have to look at it from the vote bank point of view, because these people are all Mamata's vote banks. And what she did was, out of 42 categories, 41 categories were given to Muslims. And if you go, I went through the class, all the castes, so-called castes that have been given, these are all different categories of Muslims have been given. So the whole point is, number one, it is illegal. Because it is not there in the constitution, and also what happens is that in terms of constitution, this also she paved the way for certain Congress governments, say for example in Karnataka and Telangana in particular, to ensure that the governments there could bring in, huge chunks of Muslim community. I am told it happened in Karnataka in particular, that they put all Muslims under, the majority of Muslims under the OBC category. And so automatically there is a loss of reservation for the OBCs. Now what happens is that, and when they start attacking the Prime Minister for saying they will give your quota to the minority community, and they call him communal, but the fact of the matter is that this has actually happened, and this is happening as we see in Bengal. But what we are witnessing, it's a huge blow to Mamata Banerjee. It's a Calcutta High Court decision, and she is right now, when she is saying that it is illegal, I am not going to follow what the court says, that's a clear contempt of court.
Chandni, where do you stand on this? In fact, 5 lakh OBC certificates were granted in West Bengal after 2010. And the fact of the matter is that, this is illegal. This is not constitutionally valid or operational, or will not stand the test of time, as it already has not. But the fact of the matter is that Mamata Banerjee, instead of accepting this decision, is outrightly defying what the court had to say. And something similar was also seen in the Karnataka state as well, where a number of Muslim community members were treated as OBCs. Chandni?
Yes. So we need to understand that the reservations that were, previously given. So from 1994 until 2009, the reservations that were given, that was based on a Supreme Court judgment in the Indira Sahni case, wherein the Supreme Court mandated that, there needs to be state commissions and national commissions before, you identify and classify anybody as OBCs. This was mandated by the Supreme Court. Another mandatory, clause that the Supreme Court put was that, there needs to be a 50% of, reservation. The maximum limit of reservation for the SC, ST and OBCs, that was 50%. Now, following this, the West Bengal Commission for Backward Classes was formed in 1993. Now, 1994 to 2009, for 15 years, this commission was recommending, and the state included, around 66 classes in the OBC list, out of which 54 were Hindu classes and 12 were Muslim, given that the ratios of Hindu and Muslim population in West Bengal during this period was approximately 3:1. Now, what has happened that, after 2010, the CMIS, that at that time it was Buddhadev Bhattacharya, he said that there would be a 10% of reservation of only the Muslims in the in the government sector. After that, a lot of memos were passed by the after that Mamata Banerjee became the CM, and a lot of memos were passed which subcategorized these OBC classifications as OBC A and OBC B. The OBC A was said as more backward, and the OBC B was like normally what the categorization was. There had to be a scientific and systematic reason for the subcategorization, and there had to be a permission from the commission. But there was not the case when these classifications were set up. The judgment that was delivered actually invalidated these classifications and subcategorizations because they were made without proper consultation with the commission. The court has emphasized in their order that there was a need for adherence to constitutional and statutory procedures in identifying and classifying the OBCs, and that is why it directed the states to re-evaluate these classifications. Now, when you come, obviously, they are going to politicize the issue, but the fact of the matter is that Mamata Banerjee-led government has actually, gone down on the way of appeasement to a level wherein they, as Joyita said, that out of 43 or 44 classes, 41 were Muslim classes and one category was given to the Hindu classes. The same kind of pattern continued in the memos that were, executed year by year. And then there were PILs, there were multiple PILs that had taken place in the High Court of Calcutta. So whatever decision and judgment has been made, barring the, political, whatever discussion is happening, but there were procedural violations that was, conducted by the government of Bengal, and there was the decision that has been relied upon has said that there was inadequate and unscientific data, and it was politically expediency rather than it was a genuine assessment of backwardness, and that is why these reservations have been cancelled.
Right, absolutely right. Well said, Chandni. And Varun Singh, the Trinamool Congress came into power in 2011, and as per the data in front of me, they added 71 additional castes to this list, out of which 65 were Muslims and only 6 were Hindus. And the fresh total, which was in fact presented to the Calcutta High Court, went on to say out of the 179 castes, Muslims became the majority at 118 and Hindus became the minority with just 61. Now, these are gaping holes, in what the Constitution has to say about reservation, especially when it comes to the OBCs.
Firstly, whatever I understand of Islam, casteism doesn't exist in this particular religion, and that has been the base of Islam. And here we, as you rightly pointed out, that more than 100 subcastes which have been recognized over here for OBC. And I believe in one thing: anything that is non-constitutional has to go. And the constitution of this country allows a reservation based on caste, and that too the subcastes in Hinduism who were, it is claimed, and there have been instances where they were ignored, they were, not given the proper rights, and that is the reason the reservation was brought in. But now, after 70 years, when we are trying to bring in, and it is not only the example of TMC, in Karnataka we saw it, the recent example of TDP, Chandrababu Naidu, who, in spite of it not being part of the common manifesto that was released by the BJP and TDP in Andhra Pradesh, he went ahead and said that he wants to give 4% reservation to the Muslims if they come to power. There are multiple things. I fail to understand that there are so many people, IAS officers, who are supposed to advise to the chief minister, advise the law department of the particular state, yet they go on making such blunders. These are not blunders. These are purposely made mistakes just to appease. And here in West Bengal, what has been happening for so many days, or so many years since the time Trinamool Congress has come into power, the way things are changed. For example, the Devi immersion, the idol immersion, if it clashes with another festival of another religion, the Devi immersion time is changed in West Bengal. These are the kind of appeasement that is happening over there, and there is no wrong when the Prime Minister clearly points it out to the West Bengal government. It is not an act against the minorities. It is an act to save the constitution, because the constitution clearly says that there cannot be any reservation based on religion, and that is what has been upheld. If the West Bengal government, Mamata Banerjee, is not following it, it is clear contempt of court. But we have seen there are several contempt of courts that are happening in the last few days, and no one is taking any cognizance of it. That makes me, as a student of law, as a journalist, as someone who understands what law is, very sad that no one over here wants to understand, or no one wants to take the court seriously.
All right. Anubhabrata Roy, TMC supporter, also joins us on the show. Anubhabrata, of course, the two allegations against Mamata Banerjee. The first one, of course, is very serious in nature, which the High Court has, dealt with. And Mamata Banerjee, of course, is livid about it. And secondly, the quota system and how it is being implemented and given to Muslims is not part of the constitution. Then why is Mamata Banerjee doing it?
First of all, good evening to all of you. This whole quota system and religion thing has been a bit of a misunderstanding, because there are castes in every religion. If you see, that people have been given OBC certificates have been belong to the lower caste of that minority Muslim and Muslim religions. So, as usually, as per the constitution said, that lower castes and those who have been belonging from the backward, or those who have been appeased from 200 years, 300 years, who will be given this benefits of the act, of this OBC act. So I don't know what is wrong with this allegation. What is this with the allegation right here? Like, we have backward classes in Muslim, we have backward classes in Hindu, we have lower caste in every religion. So I really don't know what is the problem with this.
Is that all you have to say, Anubhabrata? What about the fact that she's defying court? She's saying that I'm not going to...
No, where is it written in the constitution?
Yeah, okay. Joyita wants to respond. Hello? Go ahead. Joyita, go ahead.
The thing is that, you see, when you're talking about every religion has caste, every religion has... the whole fundamental premise of the Islamic religion is that they're above caste. They do not have caste. So, there may be certain notional ideas about, okay, this religion also has caste, that religion also has caste. It is not part of the constitution. It is not part of our... Anywhere can you mention, it is not just not there. So, when you are looking at it, it is completely illegal, and when the court has declared it to be illegal, how can Mamata Banerjee just come up and say things like, oh, I am not going to obey what the court has said, I'm going to, I will continue exactly as I am continuing. What is this? What is going on? This is a constitutional matter. This can only be decided by the courts, and the court has totally junked it. You cannot just stand here and say, oh, please, that religion also has caste, let us just give some OBC reservation to them. It does not. It is not. Reservations are not decided on someone's whims and fancies.
Chandni, and of course, Mamata Banerjee has once again, targeted the Bharatiya Janata Party, saying that it is some sort of a conspiracy which is being hatched against her, and the fact that there's been a violation of a constitutional provision which is supposed to help people who have suffered at the hands of caste system is nowhere in the picture.
Absolutely. I mean, this blame game of the Bengal government, be it of any matter, that everything is done by the BJP. I guess even the order that was passed by the Calcutta High Court, and pertaining to that order also, it was being said that this is a BJP order. I mean, this is bizarre. You need to understand that the Constitution clearly states that India is a secular nation, and secular state should not cater to any single religion. But in Bengal, the TMC government has been undermining this principle again and again and again. To protect the vote bank, it has illegally taken away the reservations that were meant for the backward classes and given the OBC certificates to the Muslims. Now, this is what BJP has consistently protested against. Today, also, someone from the Samajwadi Party has given a statement that if the INDI bloc comes into the power, we would reverse this. We would make amendments in the constitution that would give these kind of reservations. In Karnataka also, the state government has done this, that they have included all the Muslims in the OBC, whereas the Supreme Court has categorically said that no reservations to be made solely on the basis of religion. So when Mamata Banerjee says that this is a conspiracy hatched by BJP, these are all political tactics and political tools that she's given. She has been at the epitome of Muslim appeasement, and that has come at the cost of Hindu OBCs, that we can clearly see in the ratio that has changed from 1994 till date. So this is not just disrupted
but Chandni, Varun in fact raised another concern as well. What about all these contemps being thrown at courts? Is this also undermining their efficacy and their stance on these sensitive issues? You as a lawyer, Chandni, you should comment on that.
Sorry, what was the question?
Well, all the contempts that are being thrown at courts very lately, Varun alluded to that. Yes. Here's a fresh salvo which has come from Mamata Banerjee as well. That is also something which needs to be sorted out and taken seriously. It is something courts are to be held in the highest stead. You cannot, just because they have the chief minister, you cannot make such scathing comments that you will not follow. What kind of a message is it giving to the people who are perhaps not as influential or strong as a chief minister?
I mean, Vineet, it's very funny that apart from all these politicians, the only dictator that people see is in Narendra Modi, who has actually followed the law of the country, who has been there, asking people to follow the law of the country. Whereas when you see in West Bengal, they have defied the court orders, not just in the OBC reservation case, but they've also defied the court orders in the Sandesh Khali cases also. But, barring that, because we are talking about the OBC reservations, if you are, you have all the rights. You can go as a state, appeal in the Supreme Court against the order of the High Court. That is your right. But you cannot come in the public and say that, okay, what the order has been given by the High Court, that's an order by BJP and we are not going to follow. The High Court, if it takes cognizance, then it can, have, serious repercussions for the Mamata Banerjee government. Not only for the government as a whole, but also on Mamata Banerjee as an individual, because as an individual and as the CM of the state, she has been, stating the court order as something that is invalid. And I think this is a big mistake that the Kolkata government is doing.
Varun, what should be the recourse that the courts can in fact, subject Mamata Banerjee to? She's obviously, committed something which is unconstitutional in nature, and then she's gone on to in fact pull up, a branch of the government which pointed it out.
See, to be very honest, I don't have much expectations from the courts of this country. Yesterday or day before, Rahul Gandhi made a speech that Kejriwal was given the bail, but an Adivasi Soren, who is also chief minister, who has been languishing in the jail before Kejriwal, was not given a bail. And it's that was a direct questioning the authority of the court, but no action. there are multiple such examples where the court turns a blind eye towards many things. And hence, as I said, and forget me, the retired High Court judge from Calcutta High Court had recently said that, the remarks that he made wasn't very pleasantry for the Calcutta High Court or any other court, to be for that matter. So I have no much expectations from the courts these days. You go to the court, there are dates for common people, but you go to the court when you are a very high profile person, you get a midnight hearing also. So, and acting on Mamata Banerjee, I doubt there would be any action, because if you see, even in the last last term, there was many things when multiple judges excused themselves when cases related to West Bengal had come up. So it may sound pessimistic from my side, but right now I do not have any expectation that the court will act against Mamata Banerjee on her statement that she is not going to follow the court, and making every judge of the court as a BJP member or RSS member. One thing, I wanted to say, if the TMC spokesperson or the TMC sympathizer was here, the basis of they claim to be constitutional savers. He could have pointed it out in a way. Yes, there are economically backward classes in several religions, and they should be given reservations. That has been a particular demand, which I think none of the people with sanity are opposing it. But saying that Islam has multiple castes or Christianity has multiple castes, which actually goes against the basic fundamental ideology of these religions, and then saying that want to give them reservation based on caste, is the biggest harm that one can do to those people who are being given such reservation. Now look at it, so many people losing their jobs, so many people now unaware what their future would be. And this is what appeasement politics does, because it is temporary.
Right. Joyita, do you think this is also bound to affect Mamata Banerjee's popularity in West Bengal?
Well, definitely it is going to affect her Muslim vote bank.
Because she has tweaked the system.
But because you see, if it results in loss of job losses and all, it is definitely not going to make her very popular with her Muslim constituents. And let's face it, when you're looking at Mamata Banerjee in Bengal, that is her mainstay now. She has largely alienated herself from a large section of the majority community. So, and she's largely dependent on the minority community to win votes. So, as a result of which, this is not going to go down well. Already there is some talk about, the minority community going towards the left and Congress, because they do not see her serving their interests anymore. So, this particular latest development is going to reinforce that narrative that has started to get created.
All right. On that note, we're going to dip into a short break. Chandani, Varun and Joyita, appreciate you joining us and speaking on this important yet sensitive matter.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.